right, here goes weigh-in number 1, day number 12. It's looking like 340.5 pounds. Here goes weigh-in number 2. All right, looks like we are down 2 pounds from yesterday. Still saying 340.5. Let's go ahead and do weigh-in number 3. That's saying 339.5 for weigh-in number 3. So we're at 45.7% body fat, 39.4% water, and our body mass index is at 53.3. That's after 11 days. It's pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and do these blood pressure tests. Blood pressure test number 1. So blood pressure test number 1 came back high at 140/85. Let's go ahead and give it a second test. I'm also going to go ahead and restrap this up. All right, this one seems better. Blood pressure test number 2 came back at 134/81. We'll give it one final test. Well, this one came back at 139/85. So it looks like our blood pressure might still be a bit elevated. So keep seeing how this goes throughout the week. As always, I don't feel like I put too much salt in my snake juice or anything like that. And yesterday wasn't a stressful day. Yesterday was a pretty peaceful day. So yeah, we'll just keep testing. It's nothing to panic over. I still don't think I need the pills. I think by the end of my 30-day fast, my blood pressure will be at normal levels. But we'll see how this all goes. So we're going to go ahead and do one more test, because I'm surprised that I had 2 blood pressures that are the DIA 85. So let's go ahead and do one more test to see what we get. All right, so this is blood pressure test number 4. So final test came back 136/84. So we are in that range. So our blood pressure did go up a little bit. It's kind of in the average range that I've been in. It's just that yesterday the bottom number actually hit 79 on 2 tests. Today it hit 81, but the other 3 were around 85. So one of my tests came back as hypertension stage 2, but the rest came back as hypertension stage 1. So yeah. So I want to talk about data collection and why it's important, why it should matter to you, and why you should collect your data. I want to preface it by saying data collection isn't about you. It's about society. It's about humanity. It's about your family. It's not really all about you. Of course, it's about you. It's your data. But ultimately, it serves the purpose of serving humanity, the future. You collect your data for your lifetime. Do you know how helpful and how useful that can be for your future family members? For example, if someone in your family has diabetes and they didn't have it their whole life, right? But their whole life they've been tracking what they eat, how much they sleep, their weights, how much steps they're getting in, their EKG, their blood pressure. I mean, so many things to track, you know. But if they were to track all the things that they can track, we might have some insight into what's going on. Same with allergies, right? Same with blood pressure. And I mean, a lot of this stuff is genetic, right? But it gives us some insight. It gives us more than what we had before, you know. Before, all you have is the records from when you went to the doctor. But in today's day and age, I mean, look at how Google just bought Fitbit, right? You have Apple Health, you have Samsung Health, and now Google Fit will be better because they just bought Fitbit. So now they're going to have all the data from Fitbit users, and in Google Fit, the product will be better. Right now, Google Fit is the worst product ever. But when they integrate with Fitbit over time, it'll be just as good as Samsung Health and just as good as Apple Health. So whether you have a Google phone, a Samsung phone, or an Apple phone, you'll be able to track your health, you know, on a personal level very, very, very well, as much as you want to do it, you know. There's so many products, you know. You got Apple Watches, you know, you got the Fitbit bands. It's so many things, you know, our phones, count our steps. You got products like this blood pressure monitor, you know. It's so many products out there. And over time, I mean, what we're looking to do is evolve as humans, right? The next step in human evolution is based on data. You know, it's all that shit you see in sci-fi movies, right? Cyborgs and shit, right? Everything that we dream of and we conceptualize comes into reality. It might not come into reality the way we see it in movies and shows, but slowly and surely it will come to reality. And all this data is going to help us get there. You know, it's going to help us evolve. It's going to help us improve our race. It's going to help us improve this earth so that we can be a part of this earth for much longer. So, collect your data. You don't have to share it. But eventually, you'll want to share it. You'll want to help out the future of humanity, your family. I don't know what diseases, sicknesses anyone in my family has. To get that sort of information from my parents, you know, my parents are very African. They don't like talking about stuff like that. But that sort of information would be so helpful. If I know that, oh, all my parents, great-grandparents, grandparents, they all had high blood pressure, it's like I would have known what I would have had to do at such an earlier age, you know? But it's only me realizing that, okay, my mom had high blood pressure. At some point, my dad had a stroke. Okay, high blood pressure runs in our family. Like, it really runs in our family. Like, it's something you really have to be careful about, you know? But the way I was taught was that if you have any sort of disease, sickness, that means that you're weak. So even if you have it, don't say you have it. That's the way I was brought up. You know, I remember at a very early age, I had asthma. I was diagnosed with asthma before I ever had an asthma tech, before I ever even wheezed. I had this very good black male doctor, and he took a special look into me. He discovered I had asthma, and he prescribed for me inhalers. And I remember my mom didn't want me to get those inhalers. She was like, "You don't have asthma in Jesus' name." And we went ahead and got the inhalers. And I remember being taught how to use the inhaler by a doctor. And then when we got to the car, my mom said, "Oh yeah, let me see how you use it." And I used it just the way the doctor told me. She said, "No, that's not how you use it. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your nose." And I was like, "What?" And I did it. And I remember for the next 5, 6 years, that's how I thought you were supposed to use the inhaler, and that's how I tried to use the inhaler. And I remember when I had my first asthma attack, I didn't get better because I was using the inhaler wrong. After I used the inhaler wrong for a couple years after my first asthma attack, I then went on YouTube and started trying to learn, okay, how do you use an inhaler? Because this inhaler isn't effective. If it's not effective, something must be wrong. Or I need a different type of medicine, right? That's like there is no other medicines, right? If you have an asthma attack, use an inhaler, you know. So I finally learned how to use an inhaler, and that saved my life, yo. Yeah. So it's just a little backstory, but yeah, I'm fighting health problems. These are family health problems. It's not unique to me. I don't know who else in my family has asthma though, but asthma, high blood pressure, those are my two biggest concerns. Respiratory and circulatory, whatever's going on with my heart. Yeah, my heart's probably my primary concern. I think I got asthma under control. So yeah, that's why I really want to lose weight. I really want to be under 200 pounds. I want to see how I feel, how my heart is. I just want to see how much of a difference it makes. I want to do an EKG next month, or I'll buy my own device to do EKGs on my own. Yeah, I want to start tracking my heart health heavily. It starts with blood pressure, but there's so many other things I can do to track that. So yeah, that's where I'm at today. Thanks for tuning in. It's the American African. Have a great and blessed day. Peace.